Do you want to be that student? Not just that girl, but that student. Always on top of their work and assignments, always looking good, always getting good grades, always smells nice and just looks so put together that you're like, low-key, I want to be like her. You've come to the right place because I'm going to tell you 10 tips on how to sort of glow up and become that student, or essentially that best version of yourself, so that you can really lock in this school year. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena and it is back to school season, and yes, that means it is time for me to do another one of these videos because I actually really love doing these videos. I'm wearing my new Keshi shirt. Yes, Keshi. This is like prime, I'm just never beating the stereotypes, guys. I've actually been a Keshi fan since, not that I have to prove anything, but I've been a Keshi fan since his Reaper EP. And I'm also gonna preface this with just a bit of a disclaimer like I did in my previous video. These are just tips. These are not like mandatory whatever. You do not have to force yourself to become someone else or just like a completely different new version of yourself every school year. I think the most important thing is to always just be authentic, stay true to yourself, and strive to be the best version of yourself. Just like do what's best for you. Without further ado, let's get into these 10 tips on how to become that student this school year. I said this last year and I am going to say this again. My number one tip is to have good hygiene. And I'm sorry, but like, I think engineering has just traumatized me in terms of the hygiene thing, but I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm sorry. Like, people just need to learn to take a shower. And I'm not just saying like, oh, like, haha, shower. No, like some people, like you gotta be showering at least once a day. Do you know what I mean? I personally have like this huge fear of just smelling bad. So I always put hygiene as number one for me. So this means taking a shower, putting on lotion after you shower, maybe even putting on some body oil after you shower, making sure that you're actually washing your entire body, shampooing your hair, putting on deodorant. This is so crucial, guys. Put on deodorant. And maybe even just putting on some perfume or cologne. Number two is to stay organized for the school year. This is always like so important, I find, especially if you're really striving to A, be on top of your work, and B, getting better grades. You just have to be organized to a level. And my favorite is obviously Notion. I use Notion religiously during the school year, and Google Calendar, or even the Notion calendar. I really recommend some sort of calendar because you're gonna be having classes, you're gonna be having clubs, extracurriculars. You really need to time block out when you even have time to study, when you're going to complete each task. And so I find that a combination of these things is just so important to staying organized during the school year. You can also even just use a regular like paper planner, like an agenda. Number three is to set goals, and this can be both academic and just like other personal goals, I would say. So at the beginning of every single school year, I always set at least 3 academic goals that I want to like strive for and to basically accomplish. I will say make sure you're setting SMART goals. SMART as in the acronym SMART goals. What you want to do is to make sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Number 4 is to join extracurriculars. I stress this every single time because you don't understand. I just think extracurriculars are so important, not only as maybe just like a way for you to de-stress, meet new people. It's a great socializing event. But on top of that, I find that extracurriculars just makes you a more well-rounded person. It's just one more thing for you to talk about if you're trying to meet new people. Because I feel like one aspect of being that student is to not just be known for being a student, if that kind of makes sense. Personally, for me, I love doing intramural sports. I think it's such a great way to meet like-minded people, and there's a lot of like beginner level too. So it's a great way to sort of like dip your toe into something new that you've wanted to try for a while. Literally any single hobby or interest you can think of, there's probably a club for that. And then obviously as well, design teams, because I'm in engineering. Design teams are a huge part of just our social circle. I think it's also a great way to gain a lot of technical skills, especially that you don't learn in class. You get a lot of hands-on activity. I was part of our chemical vehicles design team. We just designed a little vehicle that would run on chemicals. I thought that was really cool. It was different than like electrical stuff that I would do all the time. I learned a lot about chemistry, which like I literally didn't learn since high school, and I met so many great people. So really recommend joining extracurriculars. Number 5 is to take care of your health, and this means eating well, exercising or at least moving, and having enough sleep. Like those are the big 3, I would say, in terms of taking care of your health. It's just so crucial. I know that like things can get so overwhelming so quickly, but at the end of the day, your body and your health is what like keeps you alive, keeps your brain functioning. Just making sure that you're taking care of yourself is so important. Making sure you're eating healthy, well-balanced meals. Don't be going hungry, guys. Like, you need food for fuel, and you won't be able to think or study if you're hungry. Number 2 is exercising. I think it's so important. It helps get rid of brain fog. It helps you just take a break, go for a walk, maybe even go for a little light jog. And again, if you join extracurriculars, that's just like such an easy way to, I guess, get some movement and exercise, and it's super fun. Your school will probably also have a gym that you can use, or at least an athletic center. And then 3rd, sleep. You can't study if you're tired. You can't take your test. You won't be able to get through final season unless you sleep. Number 6 is to set screen limits. So I find that especially during the school year, it gets easy, I guess, to fall into bad habits, especially because I'm using like my laptop, my iPad, my phone every single day. My screen time is absolutely crazy during the school year. So I think just it's so important to be setting screen time limits, especially if you find yourself being really distracted, procrastinating, all that sort of thing. What I typically do is I just delete any apps that make me distracted like that. TikTok, Instagram, all of those things. I think it's just so important to hold yourself accountable in those ways, to go in hand with taking care of your health. If you set screen time limits, it's also so much better for your eyesight. Guys, if you're staring at a laptop for like 8 hours a day, it's really bad for your eyes. So make sure you're taking breaks to look far away, relax your eyes, and all of that good stuff. Number 7 is to study smarter. So obviously I would really recommend that you guys check out a bunch of my study videos. I have so many study tips. I even have an exam study guide, but it's so important to study smarter instead of harder, because if you really want those good grades, it's important to set up specific and smart study routines so that you're not just like cramming all the time and studying like for so much longer than you really need to. As long as you're ensuring that you're like targeting how you study and setting up a really good routine and structure, you will be able to get those good grades. And it doesn't mean you have to be studying for like 10 hours a day. That's literally impossible. You don't have to study longer to get better grades. Just make sure that you're getting the right sort of study strategy to get those good grades. And again, I would just recommend checking out all of my videos because I have so many up about that. Number 8 is looking good equals feeling good. So I know so many people are like, you don't need to be putting so much effort into your appearance every day to go to school. I always find that when I look good and I put a little bit of effort into my appearance, I just feel better about myself. And I feel like, yeah, I want to be in school because I want to A, study and learn, but B, show off my outfit and like look good, you know, just in general. I feel like it's just like such a nice little boost of confidence for yourself. I will say though, contrary to whatever is shown on the internet, you don't need a whole new wardrobe every single school year. I always like making smaller sort of big purchases. Like let's say there's a pair of shoes that you've been eyeing for a while. I feel like getting that one pair of shoes, it just brings me so much joy instead of doing a huge haul of a bunch of random things that like I sort of medium like, instead of just like saving all of that and like getting one purchase that I really like. I feel like it makes me a lot happier and I really enjoy styling that piece a lot more. Number 9 is to romanticize school, especially in the fall time. I think it is the perfect opportunity if you're in like a country or a place that like has fall, I guess, as a season. But yeah, I just love it because it reminds me of like Rory Gilmore and Gilmore Girls, and it's just like so cute and like the leaves are changing color. I just love it. You just have to see like campus in the fall. It's like a whole different feeling. But I think the main thing is just always remember why you're doing this. Like, why are you studying? What are you studying for? Remember like the end goal. For me at least, I'm always like, yeah, I've wanted to be an engineer my whole life. I need to be able to make my younger self proud, you know? And I feel like that is so much more helpful looking at the big picture. And then number 10, this is the final one, is don't compare yourself to others. I think especially in terms of grades and academics, it can get so overwhelming and it's like, oh my god, everyone is doing so much better than me. I know for a fact that that is not true. That's not the case at all. Even just showing up to class, I feel like is already putting so much effort in, so you should like thank yourself for like the small little steps that you make along the way. And comparison is the thief of joy. Seriously, as long as you are being your best version of yourself, there's always going to be someone out there that you might think is doing better, but there's someone looking at you thinking that you look so put together, you're getting all those good grades. Everyone is just dealing with their situations so differently. So I think just make the most out of your years in college, your years in high school, and just have like as good of a time as you can. I feel like these times in your life just like come and go so quickly. So just ensuring that you're enjoying yourself, achieving your goals, your dreams, and not taking your academics too overwhelmingly seriously is so important, because there will always be something you regret like when you're older in life. Those are my 10 tips to becoming that student for this school year. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave any other tips that you want others to see down below, and just remember, like, make sure you just have fun at the end of the day. School can be so fun. It can be a place to socialize, meet so many new people, learn so many new things, and as long as you're just being authentic and being true to yourself, you're gonna have a blast and you're gonna have just like such a great time. I promise. I have loved university so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, like and comment on this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.